Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianne, you can call me Bree, and I like to talk all things lifestyle and productivity on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about mood boards / vision boards. In short, a vision board is a collage, whether physical or digital, of imagery that you can look at every day and just take a quick glance at it to remind yourself daily what you're really moving towards this year. I know the beginning of the year is over, but as we approach the end of Q1, we still have time to create our vision boards. It's never too late. So here are my 7 tips to make the most out of your vision board and manifest everything you want. The first method I want to talk about, and the first tip, is to start using Pinterest to create your digital collage. If you want to find really good imagery, a quick tip is to put aesthetic at the end of what you're typing in. It helps to get kind of the best, most aesthetically pleasing images you can for whatever topic you're looking for. So if you're looking up weight loss inspiration or travel inspiration, you can put Paris aesthetic or something, right? Something like that to be specific, but also get the most out of the images you're finding on Pinterest, so you don't have to do so much digging because the images are endless. Try not to doom scroll when you're doing this process. That's another side tip within this tip. Don't doom scroll and get lost in the sauce. Try to sit down with your coffee and really focus on what you're really looking for. What you're doing is you're just kind of gathering all the images you want to look through, potentially to add to your collage. So we're not necessarily adding your final collage just yet. You can definitely just use your board and be mindful of the images to use as your mood board. I've done that before too. But in this case, we just want to curate the images we want to add to an actual one-sheeter, if that makes sense. So once you're done adding all of your imagery into your board, then we want to go into the process of actually creating the collage, which is very satisfying. So there are 2 methods I've used before, and one of them is directly within Pinterest. There's a collage option on Pinterest that allows you to curate these images and resize them, cut out any images you want, and you could edit them within the collage feature. So if you click edit, you can just cut out whatever you don't need, and you can make it look however you want. So it gives you creative freedom there. The only thing is, when you hit publish, it's going to publish it publicly. So I recommend saving as a draft and then downloading that collage imagery to then save it for use later. So when I create my collages here, I'm typically just using square sizing for each of these images so they can fit well and it's a little bit quicker to put together. So the other method I use is the drag and drop or the download and upload. Usually I use my iPad for this, but obviously you can use your phone, you can use your laptop. If you have a notes app like Kilo Notes or GoodNotes and you open up an empty page, you should be able to drag and drop images from your Pinterest board into that page. So the other method within that is just to download the images on Pinterest directly and upload them into whatever sheet you want. And it could be Microsoft Word, it could be any empty sheet or note app you have, as long as you can download and export later. Okay, so my next tip is to also look at Canva to create your boards in a more templated way. So on Canva, if you look at the free version, you can search up vision board or manifestation board templates, and there should be tons of free editable templates that you can use to plug and play and put in any imagery you want and text that you want and just make it look exactly how you'd like. It's a fun way to easily have something laid out for you already and just plug and play your images versus resizing everything. Once you're done uploading your Canva template and your images into the Canva template, you can go ahead and go to the top right and there should be an export/download option. And from there, you can use it for whatever you want, but I'm just letting you know that that's where you would go to export your image. So my next tip is while you're building your vision board, be very specific with numbers. We want to be as specific as we can when we're aiming for certain numbers, just to have that in our mind, daily, to really aim for the goal. So if you want to lose, let's say, 40 pounds this year, make sure you have your goal weight center of attention on your mood board / vision board. If you want to hit a certain salary, let's say you want to hit $100,000 at your job, you want to hit a salary goal, very specific, make sure to put that number on there. If you want to reduce your debt, if you want to save a certain amount of money, make sure you're putting specific numbers on there. So that way everything is as specific as it can be and you know exactly what you're aiming for. If you put vague goals into your vision board, then there's vague action. And similarly with numbers, make sure to be specific with words that are affirmations, words that are bringing you closer to your goals and not too vague. You know, if you have certain prayers you want to recite, if you have certain affirmations you want to tell yourself, put those in there because everything counts. And if you're looking at it every day, that is feeding your subconscious. And that leads me into my next tip, which is to design your mood board for line of sight. So in the center, you're going to put your priorities and then everything that supports those goals and everything that's maybe second priority on the outside. That way you're kind of zooming in like a target. Okay, so on to my last tip, which is to save all your beautiful work, export and download it, and save it as a screensaver for all your devices. I have mine on my iPad and my phone. I don't really use my personal laptop that much, so I don't have it there yet. But save it to where you're looking every day. And if you're making a physical board, make sure it's in your line of sight every day, next to your bed or in your closet when you're getting ready in the morning. Make sure you're seeing it every day, even if it's just for a few seconds. Now, there are days when I sit and I really comprehend and I go through my imagery and I really sit and look at it, but there are also days where I just take a quick glance, mental screenshot, remind myself, okay, yes, this is where I'm supposed to be going. Okay, how can I align my choices for today and tomorrow to not mess with this goal so I can continue in the right direction? When you're saving your collage to your devices, make sure you have the correct dimensions for whatever device you're saving it to. It's going to be different for everyone, depending on what phone you have and what size iPad you have. But just be sure you look up the dimensions so that way you have as much covered in that screen grab as much as you can. So it might not be perfect, but just prepare for maybe the edges or the top edge to be a tiny bit blurred out. So if you could design your collage to where everything is showing as much as it can, that's the best way to get as much coverage. I noticed on my iPhone at the top, it gets a little blurry because of the hour is showing and and you might just have to update your display settings. Thank you if you watched this all the way through. I appreciate it. And if you like tips like this, please hit the subscribe button. I really enjoy talking about this stuff. My final thoughts and my experience with vision boards has been that they absolutely work. I have been, like I said, using them for the past 6 years, and I will tell you that they might not work all in that same year, but there could be something that I was planning for from the year prior that actually happened maybe 1 or 2 years later, but it still happened. So the timelines might shift. Nothing is perfect. Nothing will happen perfectly as you want it. But the whole point is that it happens within a reasonable time frame. If you are implementing your vision board into your life every day and your subconscious is really soaking it up, it might not happen that same year, but it's definitely possible that it can happen the following year. Don't beat up on yourself. Pointless to do that because you've already done the work, you're doing the mental work, and now you just have to kind of take care of each step and make sure you're working towards your goals. And even if it's subconscious, I believe it will happen for you. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you enjoyed, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.